Introduction. Investors adopt many different approaches that offer little or no real prospect of long term success and considerable chance of substantial economic loss. Many are not coherent investment programs at all, but instead resemble speculations or outright gambling. Investors are frequently lured by the prospect of quick and easy gain and fall victim to the many fads of Wall Street. My goals in writing this book are twofold. In the first section, I identify many of the pitfalls that face investors. By highlighting where so many go wrong, I hope to help investors learn to avoid these losing strategies. For the remainder of the book, I recommend one particular path for investors to follow: a value investment philosophy. Value investing, the strategy of investing in securities trading at an appreciable discount from underlying value, has a long history of delivering excellent investment results with very limited downside risk. This book explains the philosophy of value investing and, perhaps more importantly, the logic behind it in an attempt to demonstrate why it succeeds while other approaches fail. I have chosen to begin this book not with a discussion of what value investors do right, but with an assessment of where the other investors go wrong. For many more investors lose their way along the road to investment success than reach their destination. It is easy to stray, but a continuous effort to remain disciplined. Avoiding where others go wrong is an important step in achieving investment success. In fact, it almost ensures it. You may be wondering, as several of my friends have, why I would write a book that could encourage more people to become value investors. Don't I run the risk of encouraging increased competition, thereby reducing my own investment returns? Perhaps, but I do not believe this will happen. For one thing, value investing is not being discussed here for the first time. While I have tried to build the case for it somewhat differently from my predecessors, and while my precise philosophy may vary from that of the other investors, a number of these views have been expressed before, notably by Benjamin Graham and David Dodd, who more than 50 years ago wrote Security Analysis, regarded by many as the Bible of value investing. That single work has illuminated the way for generations of value investors. More recently, Graham wrote The Intelligent Investor, a less academic description of the value investing process. Warren Buffett, the chairman of Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated and a student of Graham, is regarded as today's most successful value investor. He has written countless articles on shareholder and partnership letters that together articulate his value investment philosophy coherently and brilliantly. Investors who have failed to heed such wise counsel are unlikely to listen to me. The truth is, I am pained by the disastrous investment results experienced by great numbers of unsophisticated or undisciplined investors. If I can persuade just a few of them to avoid dangerous investment strategies and adopt sound ones that are designed to preserve and maintain their hard-earned capital, I will be satisfied. If I should have a wider influence on investor behavior, then I would gladly pay the price of a modest diminution in my own investment returns. In any event, this book alone will not turn anyone into a successful value investor. Value investing requires a great deal of hard work, unusually strict discipline, and long-term investment horizon. If you are willing and able to devote sufficient time and effort to become value investors, and only a fraction of those happen to have the proper mindset to succeed. This book most certainly does not provide a surefire formula for investment success. There is, of course, no such formula. Rather, this book is a blueprint that is carefully followed, offers a good possibility of investment success with limited risk. I believe this is as much as investors can reasonably hope for. Ideally, this will be considered not a book about investing, but a book about thinking about investing. Like most 8th grade algebra students, some investors memorize a few formulas or rules and superficially appear competent but do not really understand what they're doing. To achieve long-term success over many financial markets and economic cycles, observing a few rules is not enough. Too many things change too quickly in the investment world for that approach to succeed. It is necessary instead to understand the rationale behind the rules in order to appreciate why they work when they do and don't when they don't. I could simply assert that value investing works, but I hope to show you why it works and why most other approaches do not. If interplanetary visitors landed on Earth and examined the workings of our financial markets and the behavior of financial market participants, they would no doubt question the intelligence of the planet's inhabitants. Wall Street, the financial marketplace where capital is all located worldwide, is in many ways just a gigantic casino, the recipient of upfront fees on every transaction. Wall Street clearly is more concerned with the volume of activity than its economic utility. Pension and endowment funds responsible for the security and enhancement of long-term retirement, educational, and philanthropic resources employ investment managers who frantically trade long-term securities frantically trade long-term securities on a very short-term basis, each trying to outguess and consequently outperform others doing the same thing. In addition, hundreds of billions invested in virtual or complete ignorance of underlying business fundamentals, often using indexing strategies designed to avoid significant underperformance at the cost of most assured mediocrity. Individual and institutional investors alike frequently demonstrate an inability to make long-term investment decisions based on business fundamentals. There are a number of reasons for this, among them the performance pressures faced by institutional investors, the compensation structure of Wall Street, and the frenzied atmosphere of the financial markets. As a result, investors, particularly institutional investors, become enmeshed in a short-term relative performance derby, whereby temporary price fluctuations become the dominant focus. Relative performance-oriented investors, already focused on short-term returns, frequently are attracted to the latest market fads as a source of superior relative performance. The temptation of making a fast buck is great, and many investors find it difficult to fight the crowd.
Stop.